$175,000 has been awarded to South Florida gay conversion therapy providers in a federal judgment. The City of Boca Raton banned gay conversion therapy, a practice the United Nations has characterized as torture. A federal appeals judge would later strike down the city's ban. Today, a federal judge has ordered Palm Beach County and the City of Boca Raton to pay $175,000 to two family therapists who challenged a local ban on gay conversion therapy for minors struggling with their sexuality, gender identity, and their faith. Robert Otto and Julie Hamilton ran afoul of Boca Raton's ban on conversion therapy, which considered the practice harmful to the health and emotional development of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and other youth. A district court has upheld the law, but Otto and Hamilton appealed backed by a religious liberty advocate group called Liberty Counsel. In 2020, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of Otto and Hamilton. Judge Britt Grant wrote, quote, "We hold that the challenge ordinances violate the First Amendment because they are content-based regulations of speech that cannot survive strict scrutiny," end quote. The U.S. District Judge Robin Rosenberg said Otto will receive $50,000 from the county and another $50,000 from the city, while Hamilton will get $50,000 from the county and $25,000 from the city. Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, a legal religious freedom advocacy group representing the therapists, said the difference between the awards was to do with the extent of each therapist's practice in Boca Raton. Staver said, quote, "The legal ruling prioritizes the First Amendment rights of the therapist and the clients who seek their services over the opinions of third-party groups," end quote. Opponents of conversion therapy say it fails teenagers by directing them toward an unattainable outcome, according to an amicus brief filed in the case by the National Center for Lesbian Rights. The American Psychological Association has also weighed in against conversion therapy. The judge will determine the amount due to Otto and Hamilton's lawyers at a later date. Clearly, this is going to continue to be challenged. This is not the final word. It's a surprise to me, frankly, because I know we'll talk about the balance rights of the health issues versus the First Amendment. It's very hard for me to believe that as this is continued to appeal, it will be sustained, because at the end of the day, conversion therapy has widely been rejected across the planet. The United Nations has declared it torture, and the World Health Organization has come out clearly against it. Virtually every medical professional group has come out against it. It's interesting to me that this judge makes the decision that the two therapists were protected under their First Amendment rights of speech. Now, that exact same standard could not be applied to the youth that are in the gay conversion therapy program. That contradiction alone, which I think is one of the reasons why it catches us all by surprise, that they would rule speech rights over the health needs of the minors, I'm sure. What do y'all think about it?
What I find interesting about this ruling is that they akined medical treatment, right? The provider's ability to deliver medical treatment, and in quotes, as speech. So what I would say is, as a community, we should take this decision and flip it on our side and say, well, now the right to gender affirming care is protected under free speech under this decision. So doctors can now go ahead and deliver gender affirming care. This also has been an attack here in Florida, in our state, under the same guidelines that, it's speech, whether exercising is their right to speech, and they should be able to deliver gender affirming care.
Yeah. I'm curious, Patricia, your long legal experience. What's your guess of any thoughts on where this is going to go? So do you think it'll continue to be challenged and move on?
I believe so. I believe that it'll be challenged because in my way of thinking, it's a far stretch to say delivery of medical treatment is speech, right? It's akin to speech. That to me and my brain.
The only thing that scares me on that explanation is you pull me right in. but the Supreme Court ruled money is free speech. And so, courts can rule in
It's I don't know. It seems like there's a thread here that is very similar to, limiting what teachers can talk about in the classroom, which is also being limited by the governor and the Don't Say Gay bill. Again, instruction is part of that, but it also could be referencing that you're a lesbian and you have a wife, or you're gay and you have a husband, or you have a non-traditional family at home, and you can't even talk about that. So again, we're in a state filled with contradictions because free speech is only protected if it falls on the side of the right and religious extremists in many cases.
And speaking of religious extremists, did you see them all in their ill-fitting clothes? I mean, come on. They need to meet some gay people to take them shopping.
Well, and there's always that.
There's always work for gay stylists.
Yes.
That's right. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.